Hi, it's Book Six. It's your key points for Book Six, The Underworld and the Aeneid. And this is on page 39 of your booklets. So just to start with, we've got, incidentally, do you like my picture? Hieronymus Bosch. It's a vision of hell from the late 1530s, 16th century. Not relevant to the Aeneid, but jolly interesting picture. So key events, Book Six. Basically, we have Aeneas's descent into the underworld and his return. That is a really crucial thing in the classical world. If you can go to the underworld and come back, it proves you're a hero. In addition, Book Six is really important because Anchises, who obviously is Aeneas's father, says in line 760, "I shall reveal to you your own destiny." Up to now, Aeneas has been struggling to understand what his pietas, his duty, actually is. But this is where he gets given his duty and his destiny. He's going to be the head of the line of all these famous Romans. He's going to rule. And in fact, 851 says this is the way he's got to do it, as we shall see. And it gives the national myth and the history because it lists this parade of Roman heroes. Culminating, or not quite culminating, it's in the midpoint, but with the famous flattery of Augustus. As Augustus is seen in the parade of heroes, we get the lines, "Here is the man who's coming, you so often hear prophesied. Here he is, Augustus Caesar, son of a god, the man who will bring back the golden years to the fields of Latium once ruled over by Saturn, and extend Rome's empire beyond the Indians and the Garamintes to a land beyond the stars," blah, blah, blah. So it's a very full of flattery for Augustus. Book Six, very important both for Aeneas and for Roman history. If we're looking then at the links to Roman context, in the next box, this parade of Roman heroes is a list of all of the key figures from Roman history. And what Virgil's actually doing is he's formalizing the sense of a national myth. He's showing how Augustus goes back from him through the Roman heroes to the founding of Rome, and in this mythical sense, Aeneas's work. It also gives this idea of what a Roman is meant to be doing. Your task, Roman, do not forget it, will be to govern the peoples of the world in your empire. These will be your arts. Impose a settled pattern upon peace. Pardon the defeated. War down the proud. What this list of heroes is doing is demonstrating what it is to be a good Roman. They're mainly military and political leaders. And so this quote is all about what is a good Roman. Somebody who's going to impose peace, pardon the defeated, and if people do resist you, then war them down successfully. So that tells us a little bit about the context of Augustus and his power. In Virgil's style and narrative techniques, what I'd like you to do is have a little look at page line 305 to 318, and just have a little look at what happens when you come to the underworld. You get this sense of everybody coming into the underworld and all kinds of dead people who are waiting in the underworld. Just see if you can find, between lines 305 to 318, 5 words or images that illustrate that terror and despair. This is useful for our 10-mark question. Once you've done that, we've had a pause. Have you done that? Then what I want you to do is to write a sentence explaining why that communicates terror or despair. The 10-mark question asks you to look at things that show it, i.e. here, terror or despair, and the way that that's communicated. So you need to just write, as well as the word or image, an explanation about why that is terrifying or despairing. You can maybe do that now, or you do it in a bit. Character developments. We'll see later when we come back to this how much of a critical turning point for Aeneas that this actually all is. This is the point that he really internalizes and understands his pietas. Now, we're not going to see that until later in the poem when we realize actually that he stopped stressing himself about what he's meant to be doing. But up to now, he's been distracted in Troy because he wanted to be a warrior. He's been distracted with Dido because he falls in love. And in Book 6, finally, he sees what the future holds. And he's suddenly realized, oh, of course, right. I've got to pull myself together. Now I know what I'm here for. Now, we all go through that in life, and you'll probably be able to look back on your life at some point and think, up to this point, I didn't know what I was doing, but now I do. And that is just part of that internal process of understanding your duty, which Aeneas is going through. Here, then, is the turning point. In addition, don't forget, we've got Anchises, who has the epithet father a lot to emphasise his role, which is nice. So finally, Book 6, what does it really mean? It's a celebration of Roman greatness, isn't it? Or is it? Now, bear with me for a moment here. In Book 19 of the Odyssey, Penelope is talking to Odysseus, who's disguised as a beggar. Do you remember? And she doesn't know it's Odysseus, but she's had a dream. And she tells him, dreams, my friend, are awkward and confusing things. Not all that people see in them comes true. So we've got this point from Homer. She goes on to say there are two gates through which these insubstantial visions reach us. One is of horn, the other of ivory. Those that come through the carved gate of ivory cheat us with empty promises that never see fulfillment, whereas those that issue from the gate of burnished horn inform the dreamer what will really happen. So we've got ivory cheating us with empty promises, horn telling us what will really happen. Remember, Virgil is trying to be Homeric. He knows this passage very well. So at the end of Book 6, does Aeneas leave through the gate of horn or through the gate of white ivory? Horn is truth, ivory is cheating. And this is what Book 6 finishes with. Through it, the powers of the underworld send false dreams up towards the heavens, and Anchises sent them on their journey through the gate of ivory. Hang on, friends. The gate of ivory. False dreams going up towards the heavens. What is being said here? And is it that some scholars are suggesting, far from being praise of the Roman Empire, we're actually seeing a subtle criticism of it, and especially of war? Virgil says that the whole dream or the whole vision of Roman greatness, the parade of heroes, etc., is finished by going through the ivory gate. Is he actually saying that everything that Rome has achieved and Rome stands for and the way it's done it is something that is actually an empty thing? And perhaps even critical of Augustus as well. So Book 6, turning point of the story, of the poem. It's the hinge between which we finish with the Odyssey section and we're about to move to the Iliad. And it has this big question mark. What's Virgil really saying about the Roman Empire and Roman